Hi, Purple Jan here. I just wanted to jump on very quickly and make a little video just to show that I'm still trying to make content and upload it. It was going to be entitled Return to the Book for reasons which will become clear, but I'm beginning to think perhaps Perfecting Procrastination would be a much better title. I was going to do this on the 1st of January. Today is now the 5th of January. Happy New Year. And every time I go to do anything, I just seem to get pulled off in 16 other directions and get absolutely nothing done. You know, I managed to bring down the tripod to set up the camera a couple of days ago, but my tripod has a floating head on it. And for some reason, I just couldn't work it. I've done it before. It's fairly simple, and I knew that it couldn't be that complicated, but for some reason I just couldn't work out how to get all the angles right. And to look at it, it looks quite complicated, but it's actually really not, providing you put your camera on the right way. But I'd put the camera on at an odd angle, and that meant that I'm shooting on a Canon EOS M50, so it should have been really simple. And I've got all this photography equipment that I know how to use, kind of, but not 100%. So once I actually got the camera on, pointing in the right direction, everything's looking good from that point of view, turn the camera on and try and line it all up to start making the video. But with this particular camera, the screen goes off very, very quickly, so it's almost impossible to do. So I thought there must be a YouTube that shows you what to do about it. And so then I'm down the YouTube rabbit hole of looking for the video of how to make the adjustment, because it's all got to be so simple. It's like, you know, when I first started using it, I think it was the other Canon camera that I've got to make video, and it kept turning off at about 28 minutes. And I tried everything to adjust that before I actually found out that they're designed to stop doing that. Otherwise, if they video past the 28 minutes, it's something to do with they then have to be sold as a video camera, and there's different taxes and all sorts of nightmarish things. And you know, as the title of my channel says, I've got very little brain. You know, I really struggle to get things organised and done, which was part of why I wanted to make this video. Sorry, I've got a dog chewing a buffalo horn, so it's a chewy noises in the background. That's part of the reason why I wanted to get to this, that just in saying that the last 2 years since we've had all the lockdowns and restrictions and things going on, all of my routines have completely gone out of the window, and I just seem to live in chaos, and I can't get past the chaos in order to do anything about it, which is getting harder and harder and harder. But going back to a couple of years ago when Neil was still working full-time, he's now not able to work full-time because his Hashimoto's is now so bad that he's just not fit to work. But having people around all the time just kind of throws everything out. And then, you know, there's this thing of I'm thinking, well, I'm not the only one who lives here. Other people should be doing things to help as well, or things that need doing. And I get incredibly frustrated because I don't feel as though I should be the one who has to say, this needs doing, can you go and do that? Because that then, if it doesn't get done, leads into nagging. And I'm now just looking at the camera and thinking, what was a lined up picture isn't actually. I'm cutting off the top of my head, so I don't know if I can sink down in the chair a little bit, you know. And so part of me thinks, right, turn this off, readjust the camera, go back and start again. But I'm thinking, no, that's procrastinating. I must sit here and do what I sat down to do. You know, I must get used to doing the job that I started doing. You know, even just this morning, I'm supposed to be meeting my friend this afternoon, and we generally meet at 3 o'clock and then leave at 6, so it's 3 hours. But I want to be on a Zoom meeting at 6 o'clock, so I'd emailed him to say, can we meet at 2 in order for me to get home at 6? And so then I pick up the phone to see if he's replied to that, and you know, then you're down the rabbit hole of messages and YouTube and God knows what else, and I just don't get anything done. I seem to do things all day long and achieve absolutely nothing. So yeah, I have perfected procrastination, but the video that I wanted to make today was back to the book. And the book in this case, I'm just reaching for it. It's not actually a book, it's a folder, and it's my method of making sure that I do what I need to do. Now, I've got this folder, which then is full of different pages of, this particular page is my daily to-do list, which is, you might be able to see that, stopped abruptly on a Tuesday an awful long time ago, because I've actually got things like cleaning out the litter tray on the animal daily list of things to do, and Molly died nearly 2 years ago, so this has been completely out of the window for some time now. Chester, stop it, I'll let you out in a second. He's just been out, he's not desperate to go. And my daily to-do list is an absolute maximum of what I can cope with on a daily basis without overstretching myself, without doing too much that's going to make me ill, because apart from having all the other problems, I have ME as well. So I have to monitor my activities very, very strictly and stop before I'm used up all my energy. So this daily to-do list is my maximum of what I can do, but the absolute minimum of what needs doing in order to keep the house basically clean. You know, it's just things like, what have I got on there? I'll read through the list if you like. I mean, it's not that exciting. It's make my bed, empty the bins upstairs, empty the upstairs recycling. I've got recycling bucket up on the stairs so that we can just throw shampoo bottles and things like that in there. Hoover my room, hoover the landing, hoover the stairs, which is a job in itself, because my balance is so bad. I have to do it by actually leaning against the wall as I do it to hold my balance, or I'll sit on the stair lift and do a little bit at a time, but I managed to get it done somehow. Then I've got to hoover the lounge. I've got to clean the toilet and the basin in my room, bathroom, toilet, bathroom, basin, bath and bidet, even though I don't use the toilet and the basin in the bathroom. Guess whose job it seems to be to clean it. Then got to clean the downstairs toilet and downstairs basin, empty the bin and the recycling downstairs, wash up, wipe down the sides in the kitchen, and clean the cooker hob. Because if that's done properly every day, you don't get any of that built up nastiness that is really not pleasant at all. So I have these sheets in here that I print off on the printer, obviously, and then I laminate them and put them in my book, and then I use the are they dry white pens, so I can tick off as I do them. Then at the end of the week I can get a damp cloth, wipe it off, and that page is good to go again next week. So I've got it sounds ridiculous, things that shouldn't need to be on there, but if you're a list maker like I am, it's quite a good feeling to, the more ticks you can do, the better you feel at the end of the day, even if they're ticks that don't really need doing. Things like, but you know, I've got things on there like my medication, just to make sure I've taken my medication in the morning, clean my teeth, had a shower, brush my hair, because if I don't go out, sometimes I don't think to brush my hair. I'll always brush my teeth before I go out. But because I'm not one of these people that looks in the mirror a lot, if I hadn't brushed my hair first thing in the morning, it might not get done at all. You know, so I've got all these things just for my personal things that I have to do. So I've got the daily household list, I've got the jobs list, you know, feeding the dogs, grooming the dogs, picking up outside, hosing down the garden, disinfecting the garden, all these things. And you know, those sort of, the animal jobs, I'm going to have to let them out because they're just really annoying me now. And I've got Reckless by my feet, so I'm trying not to kick him as I stand up. I'll get off this way. hang on a minute, I'll be back in just a second. Luckily it's not too cold today, so I can sit here for a second with the window open, but now a lorry will pull up and start making a noise, and then I think, oh, I've got to stop and start again. No, I'm going to do this video whether it's good, bad, ugly, whatever. This is what it is, this is what's happening. So I've got my daily to-do list, my animals. I've got a weekly list of bigger jobs that I try to do. You know, sometimes as part of the dailies, like, you know, changing my sheets, that would come under making my bed. But, you know, Monday I change the sheets, then I've got to get my washing on and all that sort of thing. And, you know, things on the weekly list, clean one piece of the cooker, because, you know, cleaning, I've got a big double oven, and that is a huge job to suddenly have to clean 2 ovens. But if I just take out one oven shelf, or one bit of this, clean one oven door, just once a week, clean one part of the oven, then I can kind of stay on top of it. Then I've got my monthly to-do list. The bigger, worse jobs, things like cleaning out the Hoover filters, which I like to try to do on the 1st of the month, which this year's off to a bad start. I haven't done that at all, but yeah, a lot of that is still to do with cats, like scrubbing out the litter trays and things like that, because I used to use the clumping cat litter, so as soon as she'd been in there I could lift out whatever she'd done. But, you know, once a month, you know, completely disinfect, take everything out, disinfect it and fresh litter, all that sort of thing. And then, you know, cleaning windows. And even if I don't do the jobs on this monthly list, these are the jobs that need doing, so I can point people in the direction of what needs doing. So anyway, I thought I'm gonna, this year, not a resolution, because I don't do those, they get broken too easy, but one of my aims this year is to start using my folder again. Got it out on the 1st, good start, really good start. Yes, I'm in the right frame of mind, I'm gonna start off. But I had a pack of dry white pens which were fixed to the inside of the folder, but not fixed on well enough, and they, over the 2 years, have come adrift. I'm just checking to see what they're doing out there. It's never a good thing when they're too quiet. Yeah, and I've lost the pens. It's a pack of, I think, 8 or 10 different coloured dry white pens. And this is what happens in this house, that things go missing and then I buy them again because I can't find them. And then I end up with too much stuff, which has been really, really depressing me for years now, that I'm drowning in stuff. I've just got stuff that I don't want, that I don't need. And then, you know, I'm really fighting the urge to think, well, I don't need any more of these pens. I've got them somewhere. At a push I might buy just one, because that's all I actually need to have. But I'm sure somewhere. Do you remember years and years ago, if you're in the UK, we used to have an advert on TV. I don't even know what it was for, but it was a father and son, little boy, sitting on a beach, lovely sandy beach, and Dad says, "Kevin, where's the car?" And Kevin looks up with his spade in his hand. He says, "It's in the sand." And that's what we were always saying in this house, you know, where's whatever? It's in the sand. I think I need to call this house beachfront, because everything is just lost in this house somewhere. Sorry, I've totally digressed there. So I was just saying that, you know, I want to get back to that. Fell at the first hurdle of not finding my my pen to do it with. I have other ambitions for this year that have, like I say, they're not resolutions, because I'm not going to kick myself if I don't do it. But one of the things that I would like to do is to get Final Cut Pro and learn how to use it, because these videos that I make, whether it's for this channel or, well, I'm only putting them on this channel at the moment, but I don't edit. What I film, I either got to go back and do it again to get it right, or it doesn't happen at all. And at the moment, far too much of it's not happening. So you know, I really should learn to edit. Neil's got Final Cut Pro. He knows how to use it, but it's all on his computer. I want to learn to do it for myself so that I can do what everyone else does. You know, just because I've got half a brain doesn't mean to say I can't learn anything. I can, and I will, once I've got the Final Cut Pro. But there again, there's a monetary thing to that, so I've got to save up to get it and sort all that first, and then it's always a case of finding the time to do things when you're procrastinating all the time. You know, it just seems that I can't ever just go single-mindedly at something and get it done. Whereas Neil is the complete opposite. He's so focused. If he wants to do something, nothing else enters his head at all. He's just completely focused on that one thing, which is how he became he's a canoeist, and he used to be part of the British team, and that's how he got there, because he could focus so well on just the one thing. And when he has an ambition of, I want to do this, then he will achieve it. Whereas I think I want to do this, I might achieve it one day, but very rarely today, or even tomorrow, or this week. You know, I started off last month thinking I'll do Vlogmas, just a simple video for a couple of minutes every day, but it just didn't happen. It just didn't work. You know, it's been very difficult as well the last couple of months, because, as I say, Neil's Hashimoto's is very bad at the moment, which means that he's doing less. I'm having to then try and look after him as best as I can, even things as simple as making sure that he's taken his medication, because that doesn't always happen, and then it gets even worse. Anyway, I had thought about doing this video, and I thought about what I wanted to talk about in this video, but I never thought about how I'm going to end this video. So I think probably the best thing to do is just stop here and say Happy New Year. Hope that you do better with your tasks than I do. Hopefully by the next time I make a video, I'll have found the pen and I'll be in the swing of doing things. But the one good thing that's happened that I don't think I've mentioned about at all yet, and I'll just add it quickly. Sorry, my mind's just going, this is why I'm not single-minded enough. My mind's going off in 16 different directions all the time. Last year, well, actually the year before as well, I said there'd be a lot coming down, didn't I? Echo! Echo, come on, come in, come in, come in. And now totally lost my, train of thought. A couple of years, again, it's an example of procrastination. For the 40 years that I've lived here, I've been thinking it would be really nice to plant some bulbs out the front, not in my garden, but over the other side of the path onto the grass that's out there that doesn't actually belong to me. We live on a bridle path, but just in front of the oak trees, I thought, wouldn't it be nice to plant some bulbs? So in the spring we've got some bulbs coming through. So 40 years on, I actually managed to plant some. That was 2 years ago, which started to come up last year, but because I'm not a gardener, I haven't got green fingers or thumbs, you know, I'm a bit of a disaster of growing anything, indoors or out. So we planted some, but I think we planted them too far apart. They were coming up, but it's like one here and one there instead of a little cluster of flowers. And then last year I wanted to add some more to it. And they had some daffodil bulbs that were mixed varieties, so they come through at different times and slightly different heights. So I just got, I think it was 3 packs of those. It's about 90 or 100 all in total, and we planted them in September. Again, that was another thing, that they were there for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we should have planted them, and in the end it was a case of, look, we've just got to do it or they're going to go rotten and not going to be able to use them at all. But we did eventually get them out in the ground, And the other day we were driving just off our estate where there's a bank, and the daffodils always come up first on that bank. It gets the early morning sun, and they have been out as early as November in the past, but they're normally there's normally some yellow there around about Christmas time, certainly by beginning of January, and they didn't actually have any blooms on until I think it was the 1st or 2nd of January. But I thought, well, if they're out there, you never know. We don't know if ours are going to grow or not, but we've got little shoots coming up, nowhere near flowers yet at all. You know, they're just like this high above the ground at the moment, and because of all the leaf litter from the trees, they're actually very, very hard to spot. But I'm just so happy about them because it's a 40-year ambition that has finally come to fruition. And we've got a path that goes kind of almost from our house to the houses opposite, and there's an oak tree either side of that path. Like I say, it was a bridle path, and they just cut the pavement through the middle to get from the houses this side to the houses that side. And so I planted half these bulbs my side of the path and half the other side of the path. So my neighbours next door, hopefully they'll be able to see the ones their side of the path from their kitchen window. And myself and my neighbour the other side should be able to see the ones this side of the path from our kitchen windows. So any of us stood at our kitchen window should be able to look out, see signs of spring, signs of hope for the future. I always think that daffodils and spring bulbs, it's an awakening. It's a sign of hope for the future. So they're just beginning to come up now, not yet in bloom, but it's on its way. So that's something that's really, really nice. Anyway, I'm going to end this one there. Hope you're well, hope you're staying safe and well, and if you stayed this long, then presumably you like to watch me rabbiting on, so don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, take care. Now I can't reach the off button from here because it's up on the tripod, but I'll do it, never mind. Bye.